Welcome, 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 everyone, to another adventure into reality. It is a call-in show today. We will be taking questions from the chat room. Please go ahead and raise your hand. We've got people raising their hand already. Roberto. We got a bunch already going.
It's a full house.
It's a full house today. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We got a lot of people rolling in. We'll wait another minute before we get in. So if you do not know how to raise your hand, ask the chat room. They will tell you how. Click on the participants button, click raise your hand. If you are listening on Facebook or YouTube and want to be in the Zoom room because you want to be a part of the where we select calls, we only select calls from the Zoom room. So you can dial in via your phone number. Robert's got the information up there. We've already got people dialing in from their different devices, iPhones, Android devices, iPads. All of you are coming in. Now, we will be taking as many calls as we can, probably two to three per hour. So that's roughly 6 of you. So keep those hands raised up. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see what the universe offers us today as callers.
Okay, first caller will be Anand. You should see a signal to unmute.
Anand, yeah. Hi, where are you calling from? Yeah, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Toronto, Canada. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
Well, I don't know if you could tune into my situation or what I'm going through, but I just wanted to think about what is the best course of action for me right now.
Tell me a little bit about what's going on in your reality so I can tune in deeper.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you heard of the phenomenon or TIs or what I can do to better help humanity going through what they're going through right now with COVID and stuff like that.
Okay, so how would you be helping them?
I guess trying to let go of certain things, facing my responsibility, taking better care of myself.
So how does that help other people? You're kind of reversing your own statements here.
Well, because we're all connected, and if I heal myself, I might contribute to helping society heal itself.
Sure, but there can't be a strategy behind it. The strategy of healing yourself is healing yourself, and the byproduct is the society can move forward faster.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if you have conscious effort and thought towards it, you're creating an expectation which will make a limitation to the healing in the very beginning.
Okay.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm not working right now. I was working in the university at Toronto, and I was working as a resident advisor, but I had my contract finished and then COVID started.
Okay. How long were you an RA for?
2 years. 1 year, sorry.
Did you like it?
I did enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the work environment, the pressures that I was facing from my employers and coworkers, but I really enjoyed helping people.
What are you trying to study to get graduation in?
I was doing a master's of global affairs.
Was in global affairs. And what are you going to now?
Right now, I'm just idle. There's not much that I can do because I don't want to take the vaccine, and Canada's kind of strict on it. And so I wanted to work for the government, but I can't do that now.
So why don't you want to take the vaccine? I just want to know your reasons, not the rest of the world's reasons.
Oh, okay. My reason, I don't think it's going to do what it says it's going to do. I think it's more about what it potentially can do to your DNA.
Okay, that's garbage, first thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've been listening to me for a while, you'll realize that the fear is more damaging than what the vaccine does. And anybody in the chat room that's pissed off of me, quit, walk away. I am not pro-vaccine and I'm not anti-vaccine. I am anti-fear. And right now, fear has caused you to give up your studies, caused you to put yourself in stasis. And I've had dozens of other callers, privately and publicly, that have come and have to say the same thing. If you're putting your life on complete 100% hold because of an ideological belief about a fucking jab, that's your issue. Okay? It's not going to, the jab's not going to turn you into a baby raping lizard wizard. It's not going to change your DNA. If they wanted to change your DNA, they'd put it in your water. Everything is about control, manipulation, and fear, and you have fallen for it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, I guess that's a better question I should ask, because I've been living in my life in a lot of fear, and I don't know how to get out of it.
Well, you created the fear, and you created so much fear around the vax and all the other information about the vax. It's created a solid stop order in you.
Yeah, it has.
Now, as the neutral observer, I can see this within you, a complete and total stop order. Thousands and millions of people have the vax and nothing has happened to them. 5G got started up and nobody died. Nobody got turned into zombies. So all the 5G that was going to interact with the vaccine, that's all garbage. All garbage. Just like QAnon fell apart. Vaccine fears are going to fall apart just like QAnon too. I have been saying this since the beginning of the vaccine too. And those that disagree, respectfully disagree. You're entitled to your point of view. But Anand is asking me, the person that is the reader, the one who's been doing this for the longest time, and this stop order in you is what you've got to face.
Yeah.
Is your life on 100% hold because of a prick? The answer is yes.
Yeah, it is.
If you're going to continue the ideological stand, pick something different to do or move countries. Canada won't change for you. The government won't change for you. Jobs won't change for you. You can go and join the truck drivers that are heading toward Ottawa.
I saw their protesters, actually.
Yeah. Do you want to drive truck?
No.
No. What do you want to do? What's your passion?
I really want to teach.
And right now, it's going to be impossible to be a teacher in Canada without the prick or the jab. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
So you need to sit in your own personal ideological stew and start pulling out the meat and potatoes of the stew. Okay, if I get the jab, will I defy my own self? If I don't get the jab, what is my new choice? You need to see the pros and cons, the pluses and the minuses of all of the choices. Until such a time, each one is their own little box, and you can see each box individually. Because it's just an ideology that's creating this complete and total paranoid stop in you.
Yeah.
Okay. How many years have you been studying?
Well, I left the program because I didn't really do too well, because I wasn't passionate about that specific program. I really want to teach in South Asian studies about like India and like yoga and spirituality.
Well, why are you in a university? Then why aren't you in an ashram?
Yeah, I've been to an ashram before, but I should stick and try to get there now.
Okay. Why aren't you in a pro yoga school? Why aren't you doing that particular stuff where the vaccines are unimportant to those types of classes?
I guess I've just been living in fear, and I don't know. I kind of gave up.
And in that fear, you don't see the choices out of it that include no jab. Okay? The ideology has just stopped your change in perception. Okay?
Yeah.
At any moment in time, you can change your perception. You can go and get a yoga degree, a 200-hour yoga degree, and be done in 200 hours. You can go do a 500-hour yoga degree and be done in 500 hours. That's about 4 months. You want to teach? Guess what? You've already got a powerful voice. You just got to figure out what you're going to talk about during a class.
Yeah. I feel like I've fallen so far off of my route that I don't know if I can get back.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you're so afraid your root's broken, your root is already broken. You're already disconnected from it.
Okay. And okay, one other question I had is I heard you mention this to another caller 2 weeks ago with you're seeing the sort of lizard baby raping lizard things on your feed. I'm getting that a lot.
Get it out of your feed. Start getting those people out of your feed. Put them on mute or unfriend them. You having a conscious choice of allowing them in is still a negative flow of data that's going to continue to feed the fear programs inside you. And those fear programs have bank accounts that create Morgan Stanley derivatives within your own programs and negative ideologies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just
you got to first thing consciously turn us off, and then you got to consciously change your frequency, meaning the types of meditations or spiritual works that you have to bring creative light inside you, not a destructive paranoidic light.
Okay, that makes sense. And also, I kind of went down the rabbit hole really deep, and now I'm like, my whole conscious reality is like, I see paranoia and conspiracy theory everywhere now.
Mm-hmm. You overloaded yourself, and that's all you see. The darkness is looking right back at you and feeding you what you're looking at. You are the dragon eating its own tail right now.
Yeah.
So you gotta cough up the tail, okay, and not go back and eat your own tail. You got to go consuming that isn't baby raping lizard wizards, that isn't paranoia, that isn't conspiracy, that isn't foo-foo fake faux spirituality. You want to do yoga? Go do yoga. You want to do pranayamic breathing? Go do pranayamic breathing. I can tell you right now, 3 hours of pranayama breathing will radically change the being you are in 2 months.
3 hours a day?
3 hours a week. But if you can get an hour a day, any type of truly concentrated like Wim Hof, an hour a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Radically will change your capacity to stop the paranoia from taking over the parasympathetic.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Because I already have like severe anxiety before all this kind of stuff happened.
It's because you gave up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the other thing you've got to get in touch with, the ideology of giving up. You got so overloaded with all of the fear, all of the this and all of the that, you lost your center. And you can't find the way to plug your ass back into the universe right now. Well, it happens to be middle of winter. Okay. And that's the most challenging time to reconnect to your center. Why? Because you can't just go outside and instantly fulfill yourself with the joys and happiness of the outside. You literally got to do it on your own. Can people connect in winter? Sure. Can you go cross-country skiing? Sure. Snowshoeing, skiing. Yeah, you can do all that, but you got to try. And then it's going to be like starting a chainsaw over and over and over and over again until it doesn't want to start. And then finally it starts. And you just got to be dedicated to turning off internally and externally the negative paranoid frequencies. When they turn on, no, I am consciously making a choice to say no. I'm remaining sacred neutral and allowing the greater concept of who I am to emerge through the waves of confusion I forced on myself.
Yeah, that's it.
Breath work, meditation, even standing meditation like Tai Chi. If the weather's really bad out there, cold weather training will put your ass in your body really fast. Okay?
True. Yeah.
Get yourself in a set of spandex pants with like a thermals on, nice socks, nice gloves, a hat, but thin clothing, and run like a mofo. Get that heart energy moving, get that burning energy inside you. Because when you stop, you're in your body. Practice deep breathing while you're running. Practice deep breathing afterwards. You will get that chi flowing. You absolutely will.
Okay, I'm just trying to write down everything.
This will be recorded for you. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'm just like, I need this information. So
I know.
bad.
Go ahead. Note this down.
Yeah.
Nighttime weather running. I don't know how you are running at night.
I can try.
You can try. Get some of those things that slip over your shoes that are like cleats, like rubber pullover cleats. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you can run and not fear about falling. And if you really want to be almost like parkour in the winter, get some elbow pads and knee pads and butt pads underneath your cold weather your cold weather running clothes, and be willing to jump in a pile of snow halfway through. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds
It's
like being a
just
kid again.
It's just water and snow, right?
Yeah.
Is it gonna kill you?
No.
No. It's just challenging and tackling the fear in that moment.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay, one last question, if I can.
Sure.
So there's this whole. This is again the paranoia and fear speaking, but it's just something I need to like question because my intellectual thing is just running. But what is there any truth to the whole concept of TIs, like targeted individuals?
Absolutely, there is. But the vast majority of people suffer information overload, not targeted individuals. In all the years that I have done this, if I were to put it to a percentage, 0.0000001% are targeted. And that makes it about 75 to 90,000 people in the world at any given moment.
So how would one know if they are or not?
But you'd know. You'd know. You would have military stuff all over you. You'd have other program type stuff all over you, which you do not. You are not stamped, targeted, and owned.
You can tell if I am or not?
I can tell everybody that's targeted or not. You have an ownership stamp on you, just like a dog walking up and peeing on a fire hydrant.
Wow.
Okay?
That's really good to hear.
Psychic attacks are not targeted from what he's asking about. Psychic attacks are when normal entities are just going to bully you and take your energy. Okay? So when you're using the term targeted individual, that means government, military, off-worlders, subterraneans targeting a lineage to make it in a suffering state of being so that it can be used for other things. It's the suffering state of being that creates a fracture in the reality, which allows soul shards to be taken out of the physical body and then incorporated into other realities. That is what targeted individuals are. Super soldiers, super shoulders, whatever you want to call them. They're not really super. They're loser soldiers. Sorry.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I don't want to take any more of your time, but thank you so much.
I want to add something for you here.
Yeah.
You can be a great teacher to a lot of people. You really, really can. Like more than you've ever realized. The fact that you created the fear in yourself, I want you to put a seed of doubt into the fear. You can uncreate the fear. Okay? And I want you to start literally watering the seed of doubt. I can uncreate the fear. Fear can be broken by doubting it. Doubt is a two-way street when you use it correctly.
Okay.
Okay?
I put a seed of doubt in my fear.
In your fear. Exactly. And start watering that seed of doubt in your fear. And you'll learn how to separate the different boxes of the realities that you're experiencing. What is the pure paranoia from information overload? What is the fact that you've had to limit your great dreams and you're unable to go on because the little vax prick means so much to you? You're not going to turn into a baby raping lizard wizard. You've got to hear your arguments for limitations and instantly create arguments for success.
Arguments for success.
And learn how to write down your arguments for the limitations. All the little instant things that come out of your brain to say, no, you can't do this. And you can come up with a reason to do it.
So it's still possible to be, like, I wanted to be a university professor.
100%. There's nothing stopping you. Nothing stopping you except the waves of people projecting on you. Don't get the vax. Stay in the ideology. Stay in solidarity because we're stopping the baby raping lizard wizards and the globalists from giving us vaccines, which is all a bunch of garbage.
So it has nothing to do with like the galactic commerce of DNA.
No. If they wanted to change your DNA, they'd put it in your water. They have more than enough technology out there. They don't need 1990s style vaccines, which aren't vaccines. And just because it says mRNA doesn't mean it's more advanced than the off-world technology.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Backwater technology. If they want to change your DNA, it's fucking easy for them. And they could do it globally, simultaneously to everyone on this world if they wanted to.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. All right, brother.
All right.
Take
Thank
it
you so
easy.
much.
And remember, cold weather outdoor training. It'll put you back into your body. Breathing exercises before and after and during. And when you're running, just say out loud, I let go of the fear. I deprogram myself of the paranoia. I choose every footstep to get rid of the energy I take in and replace it with positive energy. You can turn this cold weather time into pure grounding back into your reality and going, I'm ready to take charge of my life and do what I want, and nothing is going to fucking stop me.
All right.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
You're welcome, man. All right. All right, Robert. Let's spin up the wheel of colors and see who is next.
Okay. Layla, signal to unmute.
Layla, are you there?
I'm there. Hi, Andrew.
Hi.
How are you?
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling in from Austria.
Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
We can talk about any stuff, but I'm a little bit shaky now because of the conversation you had. But maybe you can tune in a little bit and, I don't know, say something.
What are you shaky about?
I liked it that you talked about the vaccine, because it was like you speaking out of my mind. I'm getting tomorrow my third shot, so yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's not going to turn you into a werewolf, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You're going to get the shot, and then 5 days later, like, why was I so fucking afraid about that? It
No,
didn't even,
not,
it won't, probably not even going to give you a bout of gas.
I'm not afraid about, I was in the beginning, but yeah, I mean, there's a little bit concern in it, but it's like you said, when they wanted to alter some stuff, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will see. My cat is crunching around right now.
Wonderful. So as I'm tuning into you, are you in a relationship?
I was seeing someone, but I'm not in a relationship per se. But why do you ask?
Because there's a whole bunch of confusing energy in your frequency about how to attach to people, both men and women, that have relationship issues with it. Some of it going back to how your mother taught you when you raised up. And there's not just confusion energy, there's, we'll simply call it incomplete lines of code, meaning a program was going to be created but was stopped at a very odd state when a different relationship took over and completely showed you how different forms of love happen. So you've got all this unconditional love teaching in you, and you're trying to become an unconditional love being, and the challenges for you are immense right now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel a lot of confused all the time. Not all the time, but I know what you're saying. And interact with people and all that stuff. Yeah.
So tell me about what people do for you or against you. What's it about them?
Now, sometimes I feel like in this it's like some sort of blocked modus. And when I'm alone again, I knew how to interact. But when I'm with people, sometimes, I don't know. It's like
Okay.
I can talk about the stuff I want to talk about. I don't know.
But you can't connect to them.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, and this relationship that you were sort of in and not in, how did that start?
Yeah, it's something really fresh. I don't know. We were
How did you meet?
we meet over an app. I was using a first time in my life some sort of dating app. So yeah, and we met like 2 times already. So yeah.
Mhm.
But before I was with someone, I don't know, it was like there was something before. So it was like I was on a drug rush with this person, and it was not really good for me. It was not a drug rush, but it was like I was in this possessive mode like all the time, and that's not normal, I guess. Or I knew. So yeah. And now it's a little bit better. So
Mhm. What's your relationship with your mother?
yeah, that's a different story. Now it's a difficult relationship, I would say, and at the moment we don't have so much contact. So, but it's getting better. So
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, yeah, it's not.
It's not. So I'm going to be blunt. You find it very easy to lie to yourself and believe yourself. And this is why it's very hard for you to connect to people, because not everyone else in the world can lie and believe it instantly. But something in you created this delusional path. And I'm going to put it square on your mother. Your mother who does this all the time, and you learned how to do it as a defensive and avoidance mechanism.
Yeah.
Does your mother believe her own lies?
My mother believes them very good, yeah, or very much.
Okay. So how can you stop believing in your own confusing situation?
I would
First thing first is you have to learn to practice blanket forgiveness. Forgive yourself of everything you could possibly think of, right, wrong, or indifferent. I forgive myself of farting in 9th grade. I forgive myself for not getting a perfect grade in college. I forgive myself for not doing it right with this boyfriend or this girlfriend. I forgive myself of everything you could potentially think of over the span of the next 3 weeks. And you got to get down to the micro details. And you can see this forgiveness journey as a form of like spoken word prayer. And the more you do it, the better you will get at drudging up the deep down things you haven't inside forgiven yourself from, because it's so easy to believe our own bullshit, especially when we're trying to spin a tale to ourselves so we're not getting hurt anymore and getting out of the pains that we're experiencing. You got to forgive yourself for creating the spin doctor in yourself. And you just got to realize the harder you put the effort into it, the deeper forgiveness will go. It won't be a little shovel. It'll be a giant tractor after a while, pulling out tons of old dirt. Okay. After you forgive the forgiveness journey, you got to reemerge the love journey for the self. You've got to learn to intimately touch your body in a non-sexual way so that you can feel the love of your touch. I'm sure you've been with a lover before and you've had that touching moment where you connected and they connected back to you. Everybody in intimacy experiences that. You need to be able to experience the power of your own touch, because you become numb to your own internal energies. You become numb to some of the greater things you can do for yourself that aren't sexual releases.
Yeah.
Okay? So forgiveness, and then the intimate love touching of yourself that isn't sexuality. This is going to help you understand what unconditional love really is. Because right now I'll put this as your diagnosis. You are horribly suffering from conditional love of syndrome. Your entire aspect is conditional, and you've got to deprogram all the different aspects so you can come back to a unified, unconditional love perspective. And from there, you will grow your spiritual journey. And the different spiritual practices and people that you meet will help you create a new, higher foundation.
Yes.
When's the last time you've actually been intimate with someone?
A few days ago.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was not bad.
Okay, what made it better than the average bear?
It was more lovely than before.
Mhm.
So I know what you're saying, and it relates to me about the numb feeling. I was feeling it's getting better, Then I don't know, 5 years ago, that was much worse, but yeah.
You have to take a more strategy-based approach to what you're doing. You can't just willy-nilly it every day. There has to be a concise, strategized effort to reducing the fear of your own touch, the fear of your own intimacy, the fear of your own connection, so that when you go to have those connections, they're no longer blocking the neural pathways and energetic exchange systems.
Okay.
What do you want to do with your future?
It's a good question. I'm currently in a situation, so I'm ending an education,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's like for jobs so you can make money, so you can live.
Mhm.
And the other thing, I don't know if the other job where you earn money too, if it's gonna happen. So the other stuff is like, I don't know. I'm now in the situation to, yeah, not just for the money, but to actually
What kind of job would it be?
the one I wanna have, or the one I wanna I'm ending now the education. So it's like in the technical area, so
Mhm.
electronics, but I don't know, it's not so my thing from experience and stuff.
So electronics or computers, there's a big difference.
Yes, that's a big difference.
So are you in the computers job or are you in the electronics? So what are you doing there?
The one thing would be, I don't know where I'm now going, because I'm ending the education. So I have paper with my job on it that I'm electronical educated. So there are different companies too, and I had spoken with, but I have to finish my education first. And the other thing would be a new education. It would be like in the pathology, can I say it like that? I don't know the English term, where you help, I don't know, cutting open dead people and all the stuff, like assistant.
So you'd work in a morgue?
Yeah, something like that. It would be really interesting, but I know if I am getting into it, and I don't know if it would be, but.
What makes you want to cut open dead people?
Learn more about the body, I guess.
That's bullshit. That's a lying to yourself, and you lied yourself into saying I can handle a morgue job.
Okay.
No, you can't. You can't even handle your own self, let alone a morgue job. Okay.
Okay.
You're going to see your first severed head, and you're done. Severed body parts, burned victims. You're done. You aren't. I'll be brutal. You aren't that emotionally strong to handle a morgue job. Okay. You can barely handle your own emotional self right now, and you're going to look at cut up bodies. Come on. This is the example of how easy it is to lie to yourself and believe you can do it.
Okay.
Do you have any medical experience working on dead bodies?
No, it would there is a spot open because the one person is too old, so they.
And
Yeah,
you think you can just take over a job at the morgue?
No, but I'm trying to.
Yes, you're trying to talk yourself into it.
Okay.
This is something you have to learn to stop doing. You got to let your heart energy come out to truly find out what it is that you want to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know I'm confused and I don't know what I want.
Right, you're so confused that none of the maps to realities make sense for you. So similar to the other caller, you got to get back into your body. It's winter. The same advice that I gave him, cold weather training. Get into your body. Get rid of the confusion, doubts, and fears by deep breathing exercises, rituals, and ceremonies that put you back into your body. You got to let go of all the stories you've created and talked yourself into to truly discover what you're going to do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you take that morgue job, you're going to be fucked up and haunted in a week. Guaranteed.
Okay.
Do you know how many ghosts are in the morgue? Every dead body is a ghost. Think about that. You have no preparations for those ghosts.
Okay.
So similar to what I said to the last caller, you got to learn to let go of the things that you've created and allow the natural, organic you to come forward. Free range Layla, no longer cage fed. Because right now you're cage feeding yourself.
Okay.
All right, darling, take it easy. It's good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. All right, Robert. Let's spit up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okay, iPhone de Adrian.
iPhone de Adrian, are you there?
You hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear me?
hear. Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from? It looks like he's muted again. Looks you got to unmute yourself. iPhone.
Another signal
Adrian.
unmute. There you go.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from France.
From France. What did you want to talk about today?
Pattern of confusion in me and where they come from.
So
maybe you want me to talk about more, or
I don't understand what you're saying. You want to talk about the confusing places you come from, or are you confused at where you come from?
I feel a lot of confusion since I'm baby about who I am.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself so I can tune in.
Yeah. I have 2 childs. I work as a magician. My parents were a lot in spirituality when I was a child, and I was in my
what kind of magician you do, or musician?
Magician. I'm an illusionist and close-up magician. I work in restaurants. I work in restaurants where there is money, and I do a lot of tips and private events.
Okay, and I take it COVID has been real challenging for you with all the different restrictions.
It was changing when there was no restaurant, so it was no work, and right now I have a false pass. False is the word. Yes, I have a false pass, and it's good. For a moment, it's okay. I go to restaurants and yeah.
Okay, so you can still somewhat be employed. So
yeah,
why did you choose to be a magician?
I didn't choose it. It comes. I was 13 years old. I go to a class. I learn. Then there is the biggest festival of theater of the world in Avignon in France. I was going at 15 years old to go to the tables of the coffee to do magic to the people, and then I became very good, and I made money, and then actually it's the job I'm very good at. It makes me money, but I feel it's not my. It's good to make money, and it's good because there is reaction of people, but I feel it could be something more that connects me more to my soul, like as a job. But it's good that I have a work that I'm good at. Yeah.
So because you started this as a young person and made money in the beginning, I'm simply going to say this is the career path for you, but it isn't the only career path. There are specific skills that you've learned in the stage magic arena, working with people directly, that could transfer to being a very powerful personal motivational speaker to people. And this is something you're going to have to make a long, hard decision about, changing the nature of the act so it can operate outside of the restaurants, and it can be beneficial for inspiring people to get up and go, inspiring people to break depression. Because there's all sorts of little unique magic, mental magic and physical magical tricks that you've learned that incorporated into a motivational speech can just get the awe and wonder back in people. And you spent all this time there just to master that energy so you can go to the next part of the public speaking journey, which is being a stand-up, self-help motivational speaker, as well as a stand-up comedian who mixes all of those techniques into one, which gives you an opportunity to be a very unique stage presence. You're no longer the restaurant's no longer your stage. The world is your stage. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not really about university for you, as it's refining the public speaking engagements that you do, creating new routines that can be incorporated anywhere. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about. I see me speaking to people a lot. I have this imagination about becoming what you say.
It's been there. It's been there. I'm just helping you bring it to the surface now. And just like when you were young and you just got into magic, you got to see that same passion inside to get beyond the restaurant stage while you're practicing and learning the other aspects that are out there. Now, you can pick up any of the main self-help and motivation books and create a speech from that, and then create 2 and 3 speeches. And a speech is between 6 and 8 minutes long. But you got to figure out how the showman is in the speech, how the magician is in the speech. Not just the sleight of hand, but the sleight of words that can create just as powerful experiences.
Yeah, I really think always how to turn the words for transmit something to people. It's alive in me, this thing, yeah.
And you got a good, decent singing voice?
Yes and no. I think I sing wrong, but I have a good voice, I think.
Spend some money on yourself to go to get some voice training lessons so that you can learn how to sing from deep in your gut. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like practicing at opera singing, because you need that deep baritone, but you also need some of the soprano energy also. Because it's when you're able to change the depth of your voice, it will make a much stronger impact onto people too. And
Yeah.
that's voice magicianing. And anyone can learn how to do it. Anyone can.
Okay.
Okay. Some voice coaching and song and is voice coaching and singing coaching. And it's definitely something that'll teach you how to get to the core, how to breathe and sing through your core.
Mhm.
Okay. And the next thing is choreographing something. Choreographing a motivational dance and speech at the same time that the audience will get up and do with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could target one that's a weight loss one. Okay. And the motivational speech is helping them to imprint upon themselves, I can lose the weight. And then the get up and go energy, and they can learn this dance that they do at home. So you can make some videos, some videos that all they got to do is dance along with you at home.
Okay.
There's a product right there. Okay. And if it's not about weight loss, it's people who are shy and don't know how to talk to people.
Mhm.
Okay. You can do
Yeah.
the same thing through song and dance.
Okay, I love to dance, but imagining me showing me like that, I don't know. Yeah, I will see. Yeah,
Yeah, but
that
would be for a product to specifically motivate people who are unmotivated. That's what that's what the choreographed dance would be used for.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep the idea. Yeah. My next step now is to do magic,
your next step for you is expanding your stage, finding out the other places that you can do. Go find a stand-up comedy theater that you can go and start practicing on the open mic nights. All of your magic techniques will still make you a great stand-up comedian. And all stand-up comedian is getting the lightning part of your brain oiled up and rolling. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I've passed all my life until 16. I was in a bubble, totally shy. And after I've taken a lot of drugs and being in stand-up like that, yeah, I could. There is a part of me that
you don't need the drugs. You don't.
No,
you just need a 5-minute bit that you've memorized, and the rest is going to be improvising.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, you think I can do this? Yeah,
I know you can.
Okay.
First thing first, you're the first magician that's called into the show. I've had other high-level stage magicians call me privately and talk, but you're the first one that's actually a magician that's actually called the show. I want you to know that. In the 10 years of doing this.
Yeah.
And instantly your energy hit me. And I'm like, how do I get this person to understand they are taking what they're doing and expanding it 100-fold? The confidence and faith is already there. They just got to expand it to other stages, other events, other genres and styles. And understanding that self-help and motivation is going to be the foundation that's going to get you to every stage, from the comedy stage to Broadway.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I thought I should be a healer.
You are a healer. Every time you do a magic trick and people can't figure it out and they're full of wonder and awe, you are healing them.
Wow, that's
every time you make somebody laugh, every time people clap for your show, you're healing them.
I cannot hear.
You can't hear me, you said?
Oh, no, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Magicians are healers. Every time you're a healer, you just got to be able to incorporate that into your greater knowingness about yourself.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right, Adrian, I got to move on to the next caller. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Robert. Spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All right. If I get this, Najma Lubika. Signal to unmute.
Najla Lubika, are you there? As I butchered your name.
Yes, you didn't. I am here. Wow.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from London, Andrew.
Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
What I would like to talk now about COVID, that's for sure. Everybody talks a lot about COVID, and I disagree on many things, but it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
I would like to ask you if I may, and I apologize everybody if I'm so selfish, but I would like to ask if you have any advice for me, what's happening in my life if I am,
Sure.
how am I doing?
Tell me a little about yourself so I can tune in.
Oh, my heart is fluttering now. I didn't expect this. Okay. I got redundant, I think 2 years ago or 1 year ago when the COVID arrived, and I was quite lost. I didn't know what to do, and I was having lots of illusions. I found you, and I even had my personal, I had personal session with you, which, it was great. I would recommend it, even though it didn't go the way how I wanted, but it showed me, it showed me who I am, and I was suddenly because I didn't handle it well, and it showed me who I am. It means thank you for that, and I got a little bit angry at you as well because I
had to use tough love on you in the situation that you were in, so you could see the authenticness of your own reflection.
Yeah, it did work. But I still could not bring myself to listen to it again because, it
hurt because it hurt.
Yes.
It hurt. Okay,
you know
because it hurt, but it doesn't hurt enough that you called back.
Yeah, because I was like today. It was, I don't know. I opened my emails and you were there, and I said, okay, let me see how I progressed. Let me speak to Andrew. And here I am. My life. And I am still not working, but I am focusing on progress.
Why aren't you working?
Because I have a dream. I don't want to work for anybody else. I just somehow find it really difficult. First is the vaccine, but I don't have to have, it's not so bad here in London.
Yeah.
But it's, I want to work for myself.
Doing
don't
what?
want to work. I used to work in the restaurant as a manager, and I just can't anymore buy into that corporate things, even though I might go back. I'm not sure, yes, but what I am doing now,
I remember talking to you about your private session. It just took a little bit for it to trigger.
Yes.
So as London reopens and they don't redo the mask mandates and stuff, you should be looking at opening a little truck stall or something like that, a food stall somewhere.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. I want to be life coach.
So,
and
you're not ready to be a life coach.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
But
maybe you are right.
But in the meantime, you need to make some money, right?
I have some money.
Yeah, but how long is it going to last?
6 months. But There's plenty of time.
No, it's not. That's at the end of the barrel.
Okay.
So you think you're going to find a job in 6 months that you can stay at?
I want to travel. I want to be a healer. I am doing spiritual. I'm like really from 2 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing my spiritual hygienes, which I'm so proud of because I could not, I just, it's very slow, but it's consistent now. And,
listen, you need a stable job and income to become a healer and travel. Yes. This is something you don't want to hear, okay?
Yes, but okay, go on. That's why I'm speaking to you.
Healers don't make money until they've gotten so good at that the clients come in beyond word of mouth. They just appear. Okay?
Yes,
Your
but I
first
don't
6
need
months.
much money. I don't need much money.
Yeah, but you need to survive.
Yes, I do.
True,
Why
then
did you say
and-
so?
Then after a while, it's not about surviving anymore. It's thriving. And to be thriving as a healer is a challenging job. It isn't easy. I think you can do it, but you just have to have a completely balanced look at it. How to do it long term without burning out at it.
Yes. But I see like there is so many people who needs help.
Sure, but you can
Well, it's
start by the power of the healing food, and the little cart that you have can all of all your spiritual magics put into it, and wisdoms too.
I don't see myself as a cat. I am 51 years old. Come
Sure,
on,
but you can hire some young person to do it for you. Come on, you were in the restaurant business for how long?
Yeah, for many years. Many years.
Right. So you can't hire some kid off the street you trust?
I can, but I believe that I was in the restaurant business because I was just following and living my mom's life.
Sure, but now you're going to use that to lead the next life so that you're not going to be out of money in 6 months and up shit creek without a paddle.
Okay.
You got to have a balanced approach here so that the 6 months remains as 6 months in the future. They're not using it up to 5 days of cash left. Because then you're just going to be a light worker with no plan.
Okay. And why do you think that when I finish like my life coaching school, I just...
Because you don't know how to get clients. And being in a restaurant cart, you will be able to get more clients for your coaching business than anything else. Because you got to sell yourself. Coaching means selling yourself 24/7, 365.
Yes, but you have to like become a brand. But I suppose if you...
No, you need to become a salesperson of yourself. And then when you're actually coaching, you're not using sales speak, you're using the real speak. I believe you could be a coach. I believe you could do all that, but you're not going to be able to just jump into it with a light bulb on and it says coaching clients come. You have to hustle for them.
And what did it take you that I would not hustle for them? I'm sorry, but I'm just asking.
When's the last time you've hustled for clients?
Ooh, I don't know, 2 years ago. Maybe not.
Okay. When's the last time you successfully hustled for 50 clients?
Okay, I never. But cannot I just reinvent my identity? There is so many tools in the world.
Sure, but you got to use them effectively in a business state and not in a light worker dumb state.
Okay.
What's going to get people to hit buy now button for you?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
What is going to get people to hit the buy now button for you?
Oh, there are still divine intervention.
Oh, that's a garbage perception. If you think you're going to go in and the divinity is just going to send you clients, no, you hustle for them. You hustle for them. Divinity will not bring you clients. Karma will bring you clients.
I go out, I go on the streets and I'm going to start speaking to people, give them my business card. It's, okay. I mean,
try doing that for a week and see how exhausting it is.
Okay.
Yeah. And then come back to the idea, if you have a set business that's around food and the magic of food and the whole branding of the thing is about magic and food, you can then be free to promote the coaching side of what you're doing that isn't about food. It's just a stage, just like the magician before, for you to take all the things you've learned and to hustle around it. And you pay the employees to make the good food. And you're not the chef, you're just the person running the show.
Yeah, but you got me now because I completely let go of this kind of idea, like going restaurants and food.
It's not a restaurant.
Okay.
I think in London, how many food carts have gone out of business in 2 years? half of them?
I have no idea, but I think plenty now.
At least half of the food carts have gone out of business. If it's anything like here in the United States, that means there's going to be a gigantic boom when the country fully reopens again.
Okay. Any
And
idea
point,
about what kind of food should be?
Magic food, anything you want. The world is your oyster when it comes to this. Anything.
Wow. Thank you.
Anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Wow. That was unexpected. But yeah.
That's because I want you to succeed.
I know. I can feel it. I can feel it.
I want you to succeed.
I can hear it in your
Now,
voice.
can we replace the food cart with something else? Yes, but it's not going to have all the background skills that you already have in it. Food is a way to solidify not just them buying it, but possibly buying a coaching class from you. And it's not coaching about food. It's whatever you're going to coach about because it's already in your food marketing.
Okay. Can this be like food, like superfoods?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be food as a like food.
Well, it could be like faux soups. Vietnamese pho is just a soup that you add stuff to. Right? That could be its own thing. It could be anything, honestly.
Okay.
It can be chocolate sweets. It could be Middle Eastern gyros. It can be South African rice and beans.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. I know I don't want to take anybody's else time. But thank you. But this
You're
is
welcome.
like something new. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but thank you very much.
So, and listen to what I said, get out there and hustle for a week and see how much energy it really takes. And once you have a stage to hustle from, it becomes so much easier.
I got it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, darling. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you very much. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Yep. All right, Robert. Let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
I just have to add real quick. I know someone who has a food cart, and him and his wife, they make over $100,000 a year just with one cart. So that
One
could
cart.
be some
Yes,
inspiration.
exactly. I know that.
Yeah. Margarita, you're getting a signal to unmute.
Margarita, are you there?
Hi, yes. Thank you so much for taking this call.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling actually from Toronto, Canada.
Oh, another Canadian. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
Actually, we probably spoke about a decade ago. And man, I'm kind of finding myself as though like the dragon fire ripped through my life. And I'm at the side of it right now where I'm feeling a little stuck because I've just gone through so much change and adaptation and overwhelm and searching through all of that and putting a lot of attention on family and helping and caring for others and so on. Anyways, right now,
go ahead.
Really struggling to move forward. I find myself getting ill all the time. And I need to get out of the overwhelm. I've gone back to school. It took me a long time to figure out what I might be able to do. I want to have a job where I'm really working for myself from anywhere in the world as a copywriter and writer. But I think scared shitless about it. So I'm really stuck with it right now.
So what kind of copywriting do you do? Well,
That's because I've just barely started the first course, and I'm turning 60 in a few months, so I'm really starting from bottom and starting my whole life over. I've lost a lot of things. I've lost everything, and 8 people in my life in the last 2.5 years are suddenly gone, 6 to death, and I left an ex-partner and a friend, a long-term friend. Anyways, it's just like I said, it's kind of like the dragon fires have ripped through.
Or it's just plain depression.
Well, that too. I've been struck.
So let's take the light worker salad energy away. Okay? Because you're using word salad to define yourself right now. Let's just call it light worker word salad. There's no dragon fire. This is depression.
Really? Oh God.
This is depression.
Well, I know I've been having and struggling with it, but there's been a shitload of stuff that's happened.
And that is why it's there.
Okay.
Because of all of that change, all of that challenges, it's created a depression, a regression, and an obsession with the depression. So it's a circular self-creating argument within yourself that keeps you trapped in depression.
Okay. All right.
So first thing first, just because you're 60 doesn't mean you can't succeed in the world. And there's a depressive energy even when you said you're 60 years old and starting over. No, you have a brand new opportunity to succeed. This is how you use words to change the very nature of your experience. You got to be very careful with the words that you use moving forward. Right. Do not use broad descriptive terminologies about yourself.
Okay.
Use very descriptive terminology when you're dealing with yourself. Now, the next thing is depression. The first thing you have to do is recognize the depression first thing in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, that first 10 minutes, don't get out of your bed right away. That first 10 minutes is going to be the most difficult disciplining of yourself that you're ever going to have, because that's where the depression starts for you. I got to start a new day. I'm 60. I'm starting over. There's all this in the future, and I'm never going to get it, which creates a deeper depression, that circular argument. You've got to learn how to self-help, motivate in that first 10 minutes and make it stick throughout the day.
Okay, yeah.
Start with blanket forgiveness. Like I said to the other caller, that first 10 minutes, I forgive myself of every moment I didn't realize I was depressed. I forgive myself for every moment I will be depressed. I forgive myself for all the things that I lost and didn't give back to myself.
Right.
That first 10 minutes is forgiveness. Then after you get out of the bed and you've got forgiveness and then what I call charting your course, you got to be able to create a unique spiritual business plan for your daily actions. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What spiritual practices do you regularly do that you do? Meditation, yoga, etc. What do you do?
Well, mostly I'm just constantly feeding myself with inspiration.
Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And you got to take out constantly from your reality.
Okay. Well,
if you're constantly motivating yourself and it's not working, those terms, you got to realize that's the dragon eating its own tail.
I don't think I would have gotten through everything I have if I didn't have a passion for learning, and that's what keeps me motivated and keeps me going.
That was the obsession that kept you going through. Obsession and depression are one and the same.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. You need to get out of depression into pure evolution.
All right.
Okay. You just got to recognize what has maintained you before will not maintain the future you want to be. New things have to come in. You got to learn to at least break the serious stick inside you once a day. And you've probably heard me say this metaphor. You've got a serious stick so far up your ass, it's coming out your mouth. You got to surgically remove the surgical stick. You got to try to tell yourself a joke once a day and make yourself laugh. Okay? You got to turn on the smile.
Yeah. It's a part of it is being way too isolated and also being in an unusual living situation right now. I've been kind of like a hermit in the basement. I was taking care of my passed away.
Out
My
of
mother.
choice. Out of choice.
Yes.
There are millions of people that are taking care of their parents in the exact same situation as you, and you've got to make new choices that don't repeat the old choices.
Right. I realize that. That's why I'm talking
That's why
to
you're
you.
calling. That's why you're talking to me.
Yeah.
But right now, the obsession of survival is what you're stuck in, which is the nature of your depression.
Yes, that's true.
And once you're out of survival mode, you'll learn what thriving is. New energies motivating you, new energies activating the passion within you.
Yeah, I lost touch with that. And I honestly don't even know what it feels like to thrive. I don't think I've ever had that in my life.
And that's what you got to strive for now.
I don't even know how that feels like. And I suppose because I've been in survival mode for so long, my confidence is really low that way.
Exactly. So let me pry for a second. I'm going to pull out my spiritual crowbar. Okay. The relationship that you had to let go of, what was going on with that?
Oh, well, interestingly, coming back to childhood home, I was faced with a mirror of exactly why I have that kind of partner. And it was a very sort of narcissist adult child kind of relationship where I attracted my mother and father in this person. And I just coming out of being seriously ill for a decade, and starting my life and being willing to sort of open my heart to somebody and actually have someone in my life again for the first time in well over a decade. And so I went into it very, very naively.
Can you forgive yourself? Can you forgive yourself of that?
Yeah, I understand exactly how that all happened and why it happened. I admit that I'm still really struggling with the after effect of it all because there was huge betrayal, and it ended.
Can you forgive yourself of all the things that happened in there, in that relationship? And you're probably going to have to write down a list of every fucked up thing that happened and forgive yourself for allowing it to happen. And if you truly make a list of every fucked up thing that's happened to you in that relationship, after that relationship, and that list is 45, 50 lines or even 100 lines long, you will learn the totality of what you need to forgive yourself from. And then that clean slate, the tabula rasa you're looking for, will be a real thing for you.
Okay. Yeah, I've had like post-traumatic stress disorder that I've not been shake from all of that. And so I'm hearing that exercise might be the thing that would help with that.
Yeah, it's similar to the other callers, but you actually need to make a list.
Okay.
All the pains and hurts and betrayals you've been through, even the most minute ones.
Okay.
And that list will be long, very long. And then you've got to use your copywriting ability. Okay. Even though you're just starting, they just use your writing ability to write all these things that are there and then start writing the counter frequency to them. I was betrayed in 1999 by this person who did this, this, and this. And then you write, I now end that signature frequency of a teacher. I am no longer betrayed by that person in this physical now. It was a decade ago. And for me to continue to allow this betrayal energy a decade later is me betraying myself and the future selves of me that want to thrive in this world and be successful.
Right. I might be talking about several relationships because
all of them. Write all of them down. It'll be cathartic for you.
Okay. All right. Wow. And in regards to moving forward,
what about it?
I guess I'm in a lot of self-doubt about the copywriting and the writing, and I want to believe in myself, and yet I find myself so stuck and in resistance that
Because you're stuck in your arguments for limitation.
yeah, I think I've been making myself sick with that.
Yes. And you just have to recognize when you're arguing for your own limitations, debating for your own limitations, defining your own limitations is never getting over them.
Right. Okay.
And you can use your writing to flip the frequency on the arguments for limitation and create the arguments for success.
Yes. So, in looking sort of at my energy or background, like my history, do you see that I'm moving in the right direction career-wise?
Can I be blunt?
Yes, I want that.
No, you're not.
Oh, shoot. Really?
Nope. You have convinced yourself that I can do this because I have somewhat of a marginal writing skill. You probably have no real idea what it takes to sell yourself as a copywriter, to sell a car TV ad, or what it takes to sell Bear aspirin or somebody's colonics. You're not an experiential person. Copywriters are experiential people. And you are denying yourself experiences. You could be a great copywriter on antidepressant, okay? Because you know it. But that would be your narrow field.
Yeah.
Can I even be blunter with you?
Yeah, sure.
You need to go and get a regular job that gets you money, that's not gonna challenge your vanity. Because right now, vanity is what has driven you into thinking you're going to be a copywriter in a world of copywriters that's for the young people now.
Well,
How are you? Let me finish. How are you, as a 60-year-old person who has experienced all these betrayals, et cetera, going to tap into that pure passion to create an ad for someone who's going to sell their product?
A lot of it is research and like
and
you
the
said,
creative writing behind it.
really understanding the sort of the end consumer and deep into the psyche of that person who's going to be.
And as a hermit, you cannot do that.
No? Okay.
You're not connected to the real world.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay?
So,
but this doesn't mean give up on copywriting. This means you need to get a job that grows your confidence and faith.
I see.
I'm not saying you don't need to go and be a grocery packer. You need to find something that's within the easy to get job that puts money in your pocket so that you can grow the copy skill, get out of the dragon eating its own tail, get out of the depression and get into that real world so you can go having more of these real world experiences what are only going to make you better as a writer. Okay. And anybody that's a copywriter, and I've met hundreds of them, and I've had many private sessions with them, they all have a side project of writing something else, whether it's a novel, a text manual, art. What's your side writing project?
Well, I've had a creative background. I was in the field and so on, but I was also for years working in mental health for a hospital. Anyways,
so you need to find a side writing project. Blunt, I think you should try looking at some Danielle Steele novels, those Fabio Love novels, okay? And try to write one. Really? You don't have to instantly publish it, just try. Because it's gonna turn the energy over in you if you've got to write a lovemaking scene, okay, or you've got to write a dating scene,
right?
Okay, or you've just got to write a relationship scene, relationship going right and wrong. You've got more than enough examples in your life to make a great betrayal love story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Start writing some of those out. Start making those your side project.
Okay.
And your goal is to get the story to 20,000 words.
Okay.
Okay? That's about 80 pages, 60 to 80 pages.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay. So it's not about giving up on writing as a potential career. It's just
Correct.
about of that. It's
broadening your horizons, solidifying your capacity to end the depression because you've got a solid job that brings money in and helps you break the depression so you can work on the next leveling of yourself with the copywriting. Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And then you got to learn to break the hermit in you. You got to break the back of the hermit in you and get out of the basement.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do that.
Yes, you do.
Oh.
Yes, you do. You're just afraid of doing it because you're comfortable now.
Well, I'll every time I start trying, like I do every now and then, I start trying to meet people and start trying to get out again. But
the arguments for your limitations stop you.
I don't know. It's just I really don't even know that I enjoy it that much.
That's depression talking right there.
Yeah, maybe that's been depression that's causing me to withdraw.
That's the depression. That's the depression talking right there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because the whole dating thing just has not gone.
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date.
I don't have any trouble attracting a partner or a date, but it's
connecting.
Yes, right. You're not. Yeah, you're right that I'm not feeling ready at all.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't.
And acknowledging you're not ready is a great starting place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it frees up the pressure you put on yourself.
So when you say get out of the basement and get more social, is that what you said?
Let's just say you go to a coffee shop, you bring a notebook or a laptop with you, and you spend 2 hours at the coffee shop writing, chit-chatting with people, talking to the people, etc. You're not in the environment of the static energy of the basement so often. The static energy in your environment is what makes it so easy to fall back into the depression.
True. Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So just get out of the house in general. That's
just get out of the house in general and and then practice your writing when you're out of the house.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So what's her face? The lady that created the Harry Potter novels. You know what she did?
What?
She would go to a coffee shop and she only had like $1.35 to buy her cup of coffee, and the coffee shop people would refill it for free. And she wrote all of her books when she was pregnant with a kid next to her at a coffee shop. Okay. And that was the only way she could write, because she had to get out of her house because she couldn't write at her house. And she was social enough there. And she now is a billionaire.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling. Okay.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Be a good idea for you to look at her history and some of her background and understand the challenges that woman went through to get her work out there and recognized.
Okay. All right.
All right, darling. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
All righty. We're going to check back in with Usura. It's been a year. Usura,
are you there? Going once. Usura. Going twice.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you calling from?
Yay! I'm from London. And
London, welcome. I remember talking
you know what?
to you.
It's so good to hear your voice. It's so good. It's so good. I spoke to you about 2 years ago when lockdown just started, and I was like language was coming through, and I was the baby going, I can't speak. People are listening. No. But anyways, I just want to say thank you for that, because things have shifted a great deal. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I have a few questions, actually. One of them's to do with your book. One of them, well, an aspect of your book, and another one's just about my life, and one's about motherhood. But yes, thank you. I'm excited to speak with you.
Well, ask any question you want.
Okay, so I'll ask the first one, which is about myself. So I've reached this point in my life now where I when I say I've got it, it's like I'm a shamanic energetic healer, but I'm now doing ancestral healing, and I love it. I'm still training, and I love it. It feels like it just fits me. It's challenging, it's hard, I'm new to it. And I guess what I wanted to ask was, in a way, because I want to be the best that I can be for the people who come to me, I kind of want to maybe a perspective that can help me do my work to the best, or do this work to the best of my ability. That makes sense.
Okay. How many clients would you say you have in a month on average?
Well, at the moment, I don't have clients because I've got case studies. And so at the moment, I'm at the beginning. So I'm supposed to only have 3 case studies. I've got 6 because I just want to just do the work. So like I say, I'm at the beginning of this, of going out and working this, doing this.
So I'm going to change the words for you.
Okay. Yes.
And you have to exercise a hustle muscle that you have never exercised before.
Okay.
And when I say hustle muscle, it is both spiritual muscle and physical muscle.
Yes.
You have to hustle your personality and not seem like you're hustling personalities. You got to be able to talk your talk, but shut your talk down without overselling yourself. You also need a framework like a website, et cetera, if you don't already have that defines what you're trying to hustle and non-hustling energy. What would be beneficial for people to come and see you? You've got to write 2 or 3 paragraphs. That makes it very easy for people to understand when they come to see you, what is it that you get out of seeing you? What are the benefits? What are the side effects? What's the journey like? You got to write this stuff down, have it in your advertising spots, website, or personally memorized within your own journey. So if you're having a conversation with someone, it can be fluid and natural, and it's still a hustle energy, but you're not hustling them. You're not trying to sell them fake Rolex watches. Are you? Hustling with selling is your unique talent that's going to bring clients left and right. Example, my hustle energy is I bring 110% of my personality with all the skill to it there every time. And I'm so consistent with what I do, that hustle energy crosses over into other people and motivates them too. You got to learn to temper your energies to be penetrative, but not disruptive to other people.
Yes, I'm learning this. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to shut people down, especially with the spiritual woo-woo talk. So you gotta figure out several ways to open a conversation without it seeming like you're forcing a conversation.
Yeah. That's not necessarily what I do. I seem to go the other way, the kind of hermit way. So there's a part of me that's, the word hustle is like, oh, okay.
Well, if you want to be an if you want to be an energetic healer, the hermit has to be retired in you.
Yeah, I accept that.
Because for you to make any significant amount of money, you're still looking at an average of 15 clients per month. Okay? And like the lady caller before, if you've never hustled for 15 clients in a month after month after month, you really don't have a clue of what it really takes and how refined and athletic that hustle muscle becomes.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you right now, you can do all the spiritual stuff, but how do you maintain it? That's your next journey. That's leaping. That's you leaping to the next level. It's understanding what it takes to maintain that journey. You've got the passion. You've got the spirit. You've got the language. Now you just got to master maintaining it and keeping it going, getting it up 2 clients a month, 3 clients a month. You're back to 0 clients, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. You're up to 10. Oh my God, I never knew I could do 10.
Yeah. Yeah, this is for me. I'm in a new place. Finally, I'm in a place from the last couple of years that I feel, yes, there's a yes. It's like coming through the dawn, you know, it's, yes, I can do this. I'm going gently, I'm going slowly, but I can, this is good. This feels good for me. This feels, and it's not scary. So thank you. Hustle, maintaining. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Are you in a relationship now?
No, I'd like to be in one, but I don't know how to do that anymore because I've gone into lockdown mode. I'd like to. I just realized I'm gonna have to go out, and I haven't done that. I haven't been with somebody since I split up from my husband, but we're very amicable and we co-parent. So I'm ready now, and I've done a lot of healing and a lot of heart stuff. So there is still little hints of fear, but I'm also really open to meeting someone, you know.
Good. Meeting people is a different form of self-hustling. Okay. So it will train you in your business, hustle for getting dates, hustle to be intimate, hustle to not be intimate. All of that hustling energy will only make you a stronger human being. Okay. And if you don't get a relationship, that's fine. You already know you got to work towards it. And just don't give up on yourself. Because once you give up on yourself when it comes to relationships, you are telling the universe, I am not ready for the next level.
Yeah. Okay.
You wake up every day and go, and if you gave up on yourself, I ungive up on myself. I take the power back to allow myself to go and do this and learn this and experience this. And I'm no longer allowing the hermit to run my life.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds doable. I've got a smile on my face.
What's your next question?
Okay, so in your book, you talk about the celestial medium of peace, which captured my heart, but I didn't quite understand a lot of it. But there was just something about what you wrote that it just captured me, and it's like a dream, and you think, oh, I'd like to be one of those. But I guess it's wanting to just go a bit deeper in that. What? Because I feel like I understand about 5% of it, but there's something about
the celestial medium of peace is a specific form of teaching for those that have experienced self-healing, self-nurturing, and self-mastery enough to understand the difference between what is self-mastery, what is self-healing, and what is the self-nurturing. And when you've achieved all of those, mastered all of those individual states, you can then make the journey to be what's called a celestial medium of peace. Without the foundations of self-healing, self-nurturing, and self-mastery, the celestial medium of peace will always be a distant fade and a dream for people. But it requires hard, foundational ability to love thyself in such a way that you are getting to the universal source of peace and becoming the medium between the different layers and levels of peace, and then translating them from their high 1 million letter celestial alphabet down to this 26-letter alphabet that we live in. Medium is in between. We learn to transfer the allness of ourself, self-mastered, self-healed, and self-nurtured, to that state of universal peace that is available to everyone in any form of oneness. It's our birthright and legacy to be in a living state of peace. But the celestial medium peace takes it to the next level. We are in that state of peace, and we become the peace teacher for all the different shards of ourself that exist into other realities. We can broadcast the messages of peace that takes the shards out of the war spaces, out of the hell realms, out of the negative places, and reincorporates them back into the greater spiritual complex. And then the spiritual medium steps it up to the next level and understands how to speak to entire astral realms, an entire hell realm, where you can broadcast the state of peace without attacking it and it not attacking you back, because a celestial medium of peace has achieved non-hierarchical order. And in a non-hierarchical state, we are non-duality. In our non-duality state, we are in the next level of capacity to love all beings in all positions, in all places, without limitations.
That's the one. That's the one.
And then the celestial medium of peace, their next level after that is there are billions of other celestial mediums of peace spread throughout the multiverse. And like moths to a flame, mediums of peace will attract each other into their astral realms, and you will meet other mediums of peace interconnected to other mediums of peace until you get to the grand network of peacekeepers and peacemakers.
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes.
And then you can go and sit in front of the fires of internet, of galactic creation, in that state of peace, and be like the universe in creation.
I'm going to be dreaming about that, staring out the window with a cup of tea, just listening and re-listening to this, because it's so beautiful. It's bigger than, it's so big.
It isn't that big. It starts in self-healing, self-nurturing, and self-mastery.
Yeah.
In mastering those, you get access to the celestial medium's concept. Because you have learned what it takes to love yourself, even in the most fucked up, hardest moments. And now offering that as a client-based service, that's the next level in yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So that's my work: self-healing, self-mastery, self-nurturing. Okay. I can have fun with that.
You can have a lot of fun with it, and you're going to be able to reteach those to people all the time, and will only make you better with your clients.
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful thing, just the beauty of it, just the exquisite beauty of it.
You said you had another question?
Yeah, well, I guess the one is, because I also feel the call of the stars, essentially, and then I think maybe that's it feels a little bit irrelevant now because I'm still absorbing what you've just said. Let me ask, I'm mum, so my daughter and all mothers, I just want, if you could just check in, see how, because she's 12, she's obviously, I'm not with her dad, even though we do stuff together and have family days and stuff, but I worry because she's growing. And
do you have split care? Does she live with him?
Yeah, because her school is closer to where he lives. I'm looking for a place to move so that she can. So she spends, it's kind of reversed, and she'll spend the week with him and the weekends with me. Just, and I am looking for a space that is closer to her school so that she can have her friends around and, just be a kid and have those beautiful things in her life and friendships and people coming around and a garden and so forth. And she's okay with her dad. They got on really fine and all of that. I feel like because it's been so rocky.
Just tell me her name and date of birth.
Ariel, and it's the 30th of July, 2009.
Hold on, let me tune in here. Has she been having issues with friends?
Not really, not to my knowledge. But I don't know her new school friends because she's in kind of like the high school, secondary school.
So you're really disconnected from her life.
Yeah, because she spent primary with me and I knew her friends and so forth. But so because she's been living with her dad, because her school is now closer to where she lives, I feel like I don't know who she's growing into, and that's not a negative thing. It's just I'd like to, I'd like to be there for her, for whatever it is.
Well, then you got to start being her for her now.
Yeah.
Not after you find a place. Not after, because after is going to be well past her emotional change and opportunities that's going on in which you just stay connected to her. I'm going to be blunt with you. She is not doing well right now. She is in a heavy state of depression. Yeah. Something went on in her friends group that didn't make sense. She didn't understand it. And her friends are not necessarily making fun of her, but are not seeing her in the best light. Because bluntly, you weren't there to coach her how to be a woman during that time. You weren't there to be the mother that she was there before. And the split up that you had between you and your husband, no, as amicably as it was terribly traumatic to her.
Yeah.
And neither you or your husband have realized the damage it has done to your daughter. Because your husband was smothering you, and you were smothering your husband, which is why you had to get separated. But the whole smothering of the mother-father energy was smothering the child.
Yeah.
Okay? You cannot go into depression about this. You just have to make a moment. You get off this call, text her, call her, set up a play date, set up something where you're starting her life now, not tomorrow. No, tomorrow can no longer be an answer when it comes to the state of your child, because she is at a state of having an emotional breakdown, of one that could harm for the rest of her life if you are not there for her as well as her father in the state that she needs. I know this is hard energy to take on just after I've described the medium of peace. But you can reuse that medium of peace energy to go, I can make peace in my child's life now.
Yeah.
I can teach her about self-healing, self-nurturing, and self-mastery in such a way that she won't reject it. You can teach her how to take care of herself mentally, physically, and spiritually. How to be a solid young woman growing up to being a grand woman.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow's no longer an answer. I reiterate that over and over and over again. And you've got to recognize the toxicity between you and your partner when you were married.
Yes.
Okay. Now you got to begin healing that toxicity so that she doesn't feel it anymore, because she still sees it every day. You don't, because you're separated, because you're adults. She's 12.
Yeah.
That toxicity hasn't left. For you, it has, because you're not with them every day. But for her, it's still there.
Okay. Okay.
Darling, let me let you go so you can process some of this energy.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. You started with all this high energy, But the lesson here for you today is be a part of your daughter's life.
I am. It's not that I'm separated from her.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. You're separated from your husband, your ex-husband, but she is living with him. She should have never been living with him from the first place because you accepted a settlement that was wrong. Period. Because you wanted to be free, because you wanted to go out and live your life, because you were smothered by that husband.
But I haven't been living my life. I've been at home. I haven't been going out.
And why isn't your daughter with you at home? Why isn't your daughter with you at home?
Well, I'm changing that. The only reason was because she went to a new secondary school.
Once again, that is total. That's a total bullshit. That's total bullshit, darling. Total bullshit. Your ex should have been paying for all of this. And that's how divorces work in every country. Can I be blunt with you?
Go for it.
You needed to not be a mother for a while to figure this all out.
Yeah.
And now that you are not a mother for a while, take back up being the mother full time while you're doing all the other stuff. It's just a matter of hustle now.
That's the conclusion I've come to. That's why I'm trying so hard to get a home, because that's exactly it. It's like I want her with me. I want her with me so that I know that.
And make her with you. Make her with you. Be the mother. Make the decision.
Mm.
All right, darling, let me let you go so you could process some of this. It'd probably be a good idea when the recording pops up for you to listen to this a few times.
Mm. Yes, thank you. I will.
You're welcome. All right, darling, take it easy. Good talking to you again.
Bye-bye.
All right, Robert, I believe we have Monty and Bruce in the background, I believe.
They are there, and I think they're ready to unmute.
The men from the universe, are you there?
Yes, I'm still melting, but it's summer, so I can't complain. So hello from the future.
And Brucey, are you there?
I'm here, yeah.
Welcome.
Calm down, Bruce.
Thank you.
What do you guys think of today's show?
Powerful.
Good.
Yeah, very powerful.
As well as I got some good comedic shots in the old chat. So yeah, it worked out well.
What was your best comedic shot?
Well, one was how Zoom has the autocorrect,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of sucks trying to be creative because it comes up with different words instead of because you were talking about J.K. Rowling and you said like she's a billionaire, and I put in and a turf, but it came out as and a term. So I like, yeah, that's funny. So basically the knock-on effect was like, damn autocorrect. And I think Santo mentioned something like, I'm not making excuses, Santo. No, I can walk to your house. It basically is it's autocorrect, and you may, it's the chip in your brain. And I wrote the hip in my drain. What?
Sorry, I had like a 9 repeated autocorrect fuck up things the other day. I'm trying to write to someone about the list of stuff that we need to do, and it just kept going wrong. Arg, I'm fucking it up, and it's even the arg was wrong. It just kept double doing me over and over again. I'm like, all right, bad texting day for me today.
Yeah, you're all thumbs.
I'm all thumbs, exactly.
Which is kind of ironic because have you seen, like, I'm amazed how teenage girls can, type out War and Peace. And I'm there going, G, E,
yep.
Base. Meanwhile, and that's my first draft. What the hell?
Man, imagine if they learned to use those thumbs and fingers and twiddling with themselves.
No, I don't
The,
think it will.
the orgasmic energy they could create. I know a person that's a professional video gamer, and this particular woman, she has what's called keyboard skills, where she can do actions per minute at about 700 actions per minute
Wow.
with a mouse and a keyboard.
Yeah.
That's average. Average 700 a minute.
You would not believe how relevant that is in my life right now. My son introduced me to Steam at the age of 55, and I've developed a mild addiction to Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and I just get torn up by 14-year-olds all over the world every day.
It's all right. I did too.
I'm trash talking. I'm writing. Hey, Brandon, how do I speak to these idiots? He goes into the settings. It's quite something, though. But believe it or not, it's 2022, and I've never gamed in my life. I mean, a little PlayStation back in like 2003 when I was living with the stand-ups, but this gaming is something else.
Mm-hmm. What other kind of games have you been experiencing?
Well, I mean, before this, the only game I really played was like solitaire or chess on Linux. You know, I'm not like gaming was not part of my world. You know,
So never got into Tekken.
oh yeah. Well, Tekken goes right back to the original PlayStation. So I mastered Tekken, and what was that car game? Twisted Metal. And,
love that game. I love Twisted Metal.
yeah.
The clown car. I was the clown car. Yeah.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth, the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
My friend group at the time, Super Mario Kart. And it's fascinating to watch, 28-year-olds nearly come to blows over like, you threw that shell at me. Come on. And it's like, it's a video game, right? But as I point out, I don't play video games. I'm in one. And I've only got one life left because, there's no save point. That's the sucky part about this video game.
Yeah.
So, Bruce, you have to have your son show you the demo of World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Of what an MPORG is, a massive online multiplayer game where you're going to log into a server and there's like 100,000 other people live playing.
Holy
and it's a
smoly.
complete virtual reality that you walk through, stories, everything.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah,
I don't want to lose you to World of Warcraft because a lot of people get themselves lost to it.
I've seen the South Park episode where they go over the deep end.
Right.
There was a Star Wars one.
I don't want to lose you to WoW. Exactly. I don't want to lose you to WoW, but you have to at least go experience it as a new gamer.
Okay.
Yeah, because instead of like, playing 1942 or, Donkey Kong, where it's just 2D paneling and it's like, you can't move over these bits. In these world, it is a completely new world and you can do anything. And it's just, there was a version of The Matrix, but unfortunately it's taken down because it's supposed to expand the story. And like, but it's an open world. Like, how far do you want the story to go? And then you realize spiritually you're doing the same thing anyway. And then you put the controller down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's some other games out there like Elder Scrolls where the story is so fantastic, it's better than the game. Now, World of Warcraft story has been watered down because corporate took it over a while ago, and Activision Blizzard is now being bought by Microsoft. But long story short, it was the game that defined modern MPORGs. Okay. And there's a bunch of them out there. And then there's some strategy games you should look at, like Age of Empires.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to take a look. World of Warcraft is free now, right? I'm not going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's free. It's free to play. Yeah.
Okay. Is it resource intensive? Because
yes,
I mean,
it is resource intensive. Yes.
I've got an i7 chip and 16 gig of RAM, but my
You're
son
fine.
says,
You're fine.
well,
You're fine.
hold on.
16, you can do it on 8 gigs of RAM.
Okay,
Just
well,
be careful.
I've got a Lenovo ThinkPad, and it's not really doesn't have a great graphics card, so that's the only thing, right? When you really get into gaming, you got to generally get like a custom AMD graphics card.
No, not really. You just lower the graphics settings to the lowest. Actually,
okay.
I used to log in and play World of Warcraft every now and then on my old laptop, which was 8 gigs of RAM and only 2 gigs of video processing. Because a lot of the when you're in the free to play scenario, a lot of the resources are on their server side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just be careful when you're killing orcs that you're doing them as an orc, because the woke brigade have actually said that orcs are based on African Americans, so it's racist.
Well, thanks for ruining it for me, Monty.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what I try and do. You're like, oh, you look like you're having fun.
Yeah.
And then there are some other games out there like Sid Meier's Civilizations. Those games are total unique world builders where you can play against other players, and you start out in the Stone Age with slings and bows, and you work up to machine guns and spaceships.
Yeah.
Or even if you want to have what is it like to be the prime creator, play Sims.
Yes. Yeah. Sims. Exactly.
Like all these, my brother bought when we like in the 90s or late 80s, whenever it was, but Railway Tycoon. And you'd be amazed what's actually out there. I mean, there's a reason that Sonic the Hedgehog was turned into a movie.
Yeah. So I'm going to war with like numerous colonies of ants over here. I had to buy about 50,000 colones, $100 worth of stuff well, not that much, but quite a bit of stuff. I have an ant infestation on one of my hectares of abaca. And so this is going to be quite interesting. You know, I've thought about it a lot, right? Like the great debate about, you know, vegetarianism and veganism and everybody in the West telling us about our diets and everything. It's almost impossible to engage nature without going to war. I'm telling you. Like I gotta literally wipe out millions of ants now. I don't want to, Andrew, but I have to.
It sounds like that's
the truth, though. But also understand there's a karmic journey in that. My middle brother Mike is a pest control person in Hawaii, and he's probably killed 100 billion bees in his time. All right.
So you're saying from a Buddhist point of view, the blood is on his hands.
Well, it was on your hands already. And from a karmic perspective, you are balancing something.
Okay.
Ooh, actually, that reminds
very interesting. I'm glad I brought up the ants. Yeah.
Yeah. It does sound like a great film from Pixar. Let's be fair. You know, the evil gringo taking the ants in the forest.
in the Native American Indian cultures here in the state, ants represent strength and power. The power of the collective. And you can learn a lot from them, how resilient they are. It can teach you a lot just by observing them, as well as when you're trying to exterminate them.
Yeah. So just so the listener knows, you know, I live in Central America, and we're talking about anthills that go up 3 feet.
Yeah, there's like half a billion ants in them.
Yeah. Tomorrow I go to war. Wish me well. Forget about Ukraine and Russia. It's all Bruce and the ants from what's going on.
And I've sent him a patterned cosplay costume, so he'll be putting that on. That'll be good. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, for the Galactic Historian. With this wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey time that is now, that's the easiest way of explaining it through Doctor Who lens, is there a way, or can you learn the way, like, where the difference between resolving karma and experiencing new karma? Now, obviously, by your choices, if I go over to next door neighbor and punch him in the face, I'm creating karma. I understand that. But when something happens to you, which is out of left field, is there a way of, in the moment, understanding of like, okay, that person's creating karma, so I'm just going to let the universe take hold? Or is it like, 1400 years ago, I burnt down his castle. Yeah, fair enough. Fair play to you.
You don't really need to know the backstory of karma. That's the first thing. Backstory is not necessarily to resolve it.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't need. I'm just the comedic brain where. But yeah, the difference between resolving karma or new karma being generated because someone's made a negative decision.
I'll be your state of perception and perspective in the moment it's happening, because all karma resolution is experiential based.
Yeah.
You can't resolve it without an experience.
I just realized my 3D meat sack human brain's going, the logic's not going to apply to this.
Exactly. It's not going to apply.
Damn you, Earth.
So Bruce and his ants, is there a greater karmic journey? Absolutely there is. Does the story really matter? No. Okay. If you want the story, make one.
Yeah.
Bruce is a writer. He can write about Joe the ant that survives. Okay.
I could.
Who comes back to bite Bruce in the butt later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the sequel. Yeah, Joe's Revenge.
Yeah, an ant bite down here is no joke. I mean, it doesn't
Exactly. That's
doesn't
why I
even
said
have to
it.
be a bullet ant. Right, yeah, yeah. And there's another really cool insect thing that happens down here. It happens maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And my wife says it has something to do with like the moon and earth tremors, and there's a number of factors that go into it, but you get swarmed. And so I'll be sitting at the computer, I'll look to my left and I'll go, and the wall to my left is 25 feet long, 8 feet high. It's an earthbag wall house, and the whole wall is moving. I'm going, what's going on there? And I may be working by candlelight or something. I'll put the lamp on, and there's literally like 1 trillion ants on the wall. And if the first time it happens, it can really freak you out. And then they disappear really quick. Like in an hour, they're all gone. But they all come out at the same time. And it's not just here where I live. It used to happen in a house I rented 2 hours away in another province in Costa Rica as well. So you see all these really cool nature things over here that are just mind-boggling.
Are they funded by George Soros? I'm just wondering why they appear at the same time and disappear at the same time.
They're globalist. They're globalist ants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are there pellets of bricks that appear about 2 minutes before the ants turn up?
No.
Okay.
No, but it does seem like to occupy Bruce's earthbag house. I will admit.
We'll take down the evil white gringo, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you, Santa. Bruce is slowly getting white anted. That's a good one, Santo. Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of little construction projects going on here now. We're doing a lot of work with stone now. Like literally, we got a kid, and he just goes all day. His job all day is to go to the road and collect stones about 3/4 the size of an NFL football in a wheelbarrow and bring them back. And then we're doing a lot of masonry work with stones now. It's really fun. It's very archetypal up here now. I feel like I'm,
So you're
Carl
becoming
Jung
a mason
text.
now.
Well, my son is actually a very good mason. He was actually with the Masons Union in Canada. So, the General Labor Union, but the Mason section. And so yeah, masonry is a lot of fun, man. And like you build a stone fence or a stone archway, it's there forever. It's I mean, so is an earthbag house. Mine, you got to redo the roof maybe every 5 or 7 years, but you got to do that on any house, right? But the stonework, it's just there forever, man, forever. It's so fun. We're doing a big stove now. We're doing a whole like 10-foot long stone cooking area, like where we can grill meat and bake bread and do pizzas and all this sort of stuff. So a lot of
Nice.
fun. Yeah.
I love the photo that Robert just shared. It's like, this is why you don't do mushrooms and build a wall.
Exactly.
I don't know how he does this so quickly. That's not
Thank
even
you, Monty.
mortared. That's not
No.
even mortared. That's just perfectly laid stone.
That's the mushrooms talking. That's why. Like, no, they're a collective and they've agreed to be a wall, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you'll learn when you make that pizza oven, you can do so much different styles of large style cooking. You can get yourself like a 48-inch copper pan that's got like a 3-inch side, like those paella. Like, ever been to paella parties where they've got those oversized copper or steel ones or cast irons, or make your own. And it's such a different style of cooking because it's such a lower temperature, unless you're intending it to be a high temperature oven, and you could easily make those high temperature ovens easy.
Yeah. No, we're really looking forward to this because, most of the world, folks, cooks on gas. Probably most of the listeners right now cook on electrical stoves. Although there's a lot of propane now, like high-end cooks, they like propane in their house. But here in the rest of the world, like, in Asia and Central America, everybody cooks on gas. And you always feel like, oh, this is costing a fortune. You can't really do like a 6-hour tomato sauce from tomatoes in your garden or something, and really get it broken up into a fine sauce. But the fire cooking and the coal cooking, yeah, you can do all that. And then I grab up all the charcoal too, and I do a number of things with the charcoal, right? So every once in a while, to clean my system out, I'll have a big glass of charcoal water. Like, it's a good hardwood I burn. I use it. I mix it with a little toothpaste to brush my teeth. It's and then when I got the wood burning stove set up and everything in the whole kitchen area, and I can really do stuff, I want to create a cache of charcoal dust from coconut shells. So basically coconut charcoal, which is really good for you as well. There's just so much to do up here. We're starting a huge food farm.
So a little side note for you: if you've got a person collecting stones, have another person start collecting coconut shells, and have them take a hammer to it just so they split open. Coconut shells are so great to burn when they're dried out.
Yeah.
They burn so intense and such a hot fire. And when I was in Barbados, we would collect the coconuts that fell out of the trees everywhere. And I could make a fire just out of a pile of 25 coconuts that would last a good hour and a half. And it was hot. I didn't need newspaper. I didn't need starting fluids. None of that. I could just do it with a match and a dry coconut.
Yeah.
And you can sound like a horse.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
Like Monty Python.
Yeah, exactly. I had to chime in there. It's like, I don't burn things anymore. I learned my lesson.
Yeah. And we're finishing up the steam room. I got all the drums and everything, so we got to do the stonework at the back to burn the fire and boil the water. But yeah, everything's coming together really, really nicely. It's very.
In Roman times, because you're building a Roman villa, aren't you?
It's getting pretty big. Like there's four buildings, and yeah, it's like when you come up the mountain, like you just pass pretty much wood shacks. There's a few nice farmhouses, like 2-story wood and stuff, and that's the absentee landlord, right? San Jose businessman or lawyer who owns a farm out here, and then some of my neighbors will take care of his farm when his family's not here, and it's like a cottage for them, right? But aside for 2 or 3 farms like that, it's just all these wood shacks, and then you get to my part of the road, and there's just this huge sort of bizarre looking white edifices like Athens, Greece or something, all whitewashed and earth bagged with lime plaster on the outside, and it's quite a sight to behold. Yeah, it's the Taj Mahal where I live. So have you guys ever seen the TV series Ozark? Yes, I just watched season 4, part 1.
Me too. Jesus Christ, that was awesome. Season 4 was so intense, and I forgot how intense that show was when I was first watching it.
Yeah, I was amazed what they pulled off in season 4. And well, we don't want to give any spoilers for people who haven't seen it, but
I haven't started watching it yet. I'm going to.
I think Bruce's place is this way. That's some nice silver, some nice metal work there.
Thinking wire ones look pale. Anyway, I'll be downloading. Watching Ozark. I'm near the end of Peaky Blinders, so yeah, I do find it fascinating. Like everyone likes crime stories at the moment.
Yeah, and there's no happy ending. They don't. Ever since The Sopranos, they're all sort of tragic now. Sons of Anarchy, Boardwalk Empire, like it. Yeah, you get all the glitz and everything, but your fate is not good, right? You just build up so much enmity and much.
Yeah, name one trafficker in cocaine that actually retired and had a good life.
Yeah. So there you go. They don't. Well, maybe we don't know his name because he kept low key.
Yeah, I know that's
exactly. That's how he got out.
Yeah. They don't retire over here. The narco on my mountain was murdered, and another narco took over his farm. But they follow a strict set of rules, right? Like they're not bad neighbors or anything like that. It's just
it's all part of the game.
yeah, it's just like it's all fine and dandy till somebody gets pinched and everybody's worried about going to jail, right? Then that's when it gets a little bit crazy. But hey, by the way, like 8 days ago, they legalized medical cannabis in Costa Rica, and hemp growing as well. You don't need a license to grow hemp, but you do for the medical cannabis. And that was just 8 days ago. So a lot happening over here. I kind of keep it low key, because I'm very sensitive to what my European and North American friends are going through.
Who cares? They made
Mhm.
choices. You
But
made
it'll allow
choices.
you-
They made choices.
It'll allow you to experiment in hempcrete now, because you can do
Yes.
you can half acre of hemp and start making some hempcrete bricks and learn the
Yes.
formulas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I've been talking about that with my son, but we have so much going on now. It isn't funny. And so it's a chain of microeconomies I have, but if you have two or three microeconomies bringing in 30 or $40,000 a year, you're doing okay. Especially in a place where you have no bills other than internet.
Right. That's that whole cottage industry you and I have talked about before, building your own little micro cottage industry in your own environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, things are quite nice here. I want to go back to Ozark for a minute. Without giving any spoilers, but since you've seen it, Andrew, what a unbelievably chilling and psychotic portrayal of the FBI. Eh?
Yes, chilling and psychotic, but I think it reveals the truth, especially with you got the FBI trying to put agents in the Gretchen Whitmer case or the January 6th, how truly evil they are because they don't have real criminals to go after.
Yeah.
Or they're not allowed to go after.
No, they're not allowed to go after. Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, if you remember the Simpsons movie, and it sounds, it's funny, blah blah blah, but I think it's based on extreme truth, where there's a whole room with 200 people looking at their separate computer screens, and I think Lisa says something. They're bugging Lisa, and Lisa says where they are, and it's like, oh, we got one. We finally got one. And it's like, yeah, that sounds funny and stuff, but if you go deeper into the truth, it's like that's funny because it's true. Because the FBI never does anything. It's usually someone else. It's like one of us calling in. It's like, yeah, they're building a bomb next door. And most likely now, like remember was it the governor of Wisconsin? She was going to get kidnapped.
Yep.
Out of 15 people that are arrested, 13 were FBI informants.
Yep. Paid informants.
Yeah.
Paid before they're even sent to go look at that.
And then you go back to 1993. The bomb maker for the World Trade Center knew who, because the FBI approached him and it was supposed to be a fake out. But then he realized, hang on, they're building it. They want me to build a real bomb. And that's when he started to record everything because he's a very smart man. That's in 1993 at the World Trade Center. Now, what happened to the World Trade Center after that? I'm not aware of. I lost track of the.
Yeah, I heard a rumor. I haven't verified it though.
Don't go to the BBC. Yeah.
No, not at all. Yeah. Well, it's an intense show today, Andrew. I just, it's very intense to listen to some of these calls. And it seems like in some way, shape, or form, almost every caller has something that you can benefit from, right? And I'm going, Jesus, that's me. That's me too. Jesus, that's me too.
No. I see every caller as a teacher. And it's just a matter of getting their personality forward in the energy and not backwards in the energy. Not to pick on the one lady that was 60. Her personality wasn't forward. And the challenge of me communicating with her was to get her personality forward so she can problem solve and not repeat.
Yeah.
Well, she had a lot of you bring out people, they have their aha moments where on a basic level, like if you're talking to me and helping me out, I have an aha thing. It's like, hang on, I've achieved something here. I've made a breakthrough. I know what I can do. Like, there's so many stories of you, from a year ago, and they ring back. It's like, oh yeah, I remember talking to you. Wow, I'm so happy, and because they've done the work and they've found their way, their personal way through their personal issues, and all you've done is like, well, you could try this, why don't you have a Pepsi? And their entire life completely changed. It's because they've been drinking Coke all life type thing.
Hey, let's go back to J.K. Rowling. I like the caller you talked to, who was a writer as well. I mean, I have the highest respect for her as well. Not a huge fan of the books. Like, I've skimmed through 3 of them, and I mean, skim through is just, I read really quickly, right? And they're enjoyable and everything. But when I take 2 steps back and I look at it from the perspective of industry, it's nothing but respect. I mean, she literally created the young adult literature market with those books.
She reinvented it. Yes.
Yeah. And it's still, do you know it's still the highest selling market in literature? My agent's portfolio now is 80% YAL writers. And it's very interesting that, the 12 to 18-year-olds are the biggest book market in the world right now, or at least in North America. Fascinating.
Well, it's been like that for a while now.
Because J.K. Rowling did it.
She did it. But at the time that she was writing, before the industry accepted what her book series represented and how it changed adults and young adults, and how the young adults grew up and passed that on to their children. It was a generational leap within its own generation.
Yeah. Yeah. So she did all that in a coffee shop too, and longhand. Right. I wonder if it was longhand or she had an old.
Nope, it was all longhand until she finally got a computer, and she would type at home, and she would bring her kid with her too.
How did the popularity unfold? Like, did she release the 2nd or 3rd book, or did the ball start rolling with the first?
No, it was tough for her to get going. I heard something, I don't know if I'm confusing her with Hemingway or not, but 94 rejections on the first manuscript.
Yep.
It was brutal. You hear these stories all the time in literature, right?
Well, even Walt Disney, you're familiar with Walt, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what was Andrew, was 700 rejections from banks. And he actually brought in, like, it's not a robot, but the animatronic version of Abraham Lincoln. He brought the prototype of Abe into a bank as well, and I think they still said no. And while Walt was alive, and looking how big Walt Disney was, but 700 rejections.
Now back to the J.K. Rowling story. It would be a really good, beneficial thing for people to go look at some of her early interviews where she's telling about what it took to be successful, and some of the things that are still up on YouTube, because it is truly a how do I put it? Rags to riches story, literally rags to riches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through pure creativity. And it's absolute proof that anybody with that soul-inspiring inner creativity and passion and the capacities to stay dedicated to it, you can change everything about your life.
Yeah. I think even sociologically, I think she had a lot to say. I think a lot of kids got a lot out of the whole magician, muggle, 2 classes of beings and everything and stuff like that, And
I did. I was 29 or 30 when those books came out, and I was a limo driver, and one of the strippers that was in the car with me, because we were driving back and forth with a different group of people. We're going strip club to strip club to strip club, and she had a book in her bag, and it was a hard copy, and she goes, "Hey, read this," and she just gave it to me, like literally just, "Bloop, here you go." And they're inside doing whatever, and I started reading the book while I was in the limo. But Jesus Christ, this is fucking good. And then she's like, just keep the book, because she had bought 5 of each books just to give away to people.
Well, that's what I was
Wow.
going to say. The word of mouth, like that's how the writing tapped into something where it was a genuine grassroots word of mouth thing of like, this is, when a good friend comes up and goes, read this, it's really good. It's not like, okay, that classic thing of if you go to a restaurant, you have a bad experience, you tell 15 people, but if you have a good experience at a restaurant, you only tell 3 or whatever, the thing. But with Harry Potter, it was like tell everyone, and that's how, because it just spread real quickly, and there wasn't really any marketing. It was just the basis of the books.
Yeah, and I remember I finished that first book. And it was like 800 pages in a day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah.
And I went out and got every other book that as they came out and voraciously read them, because I'm a big fantasy sci-fi person writing my own stories. But I was so enthralled with the writing style, the creativity, the back and forth between the characters, the magic. It was just a world you could immerse yourself in.
Yeah. Yeah, she did a fantastic job, man. It's really kind of incredible what she did. And the way she was able to access young people and get them to read too, they're a really tough group to market to, right?
Yeah, especially at the time her stuff was coming out.
Yeah, I believe actually I read last week, I think it was the United States, they're passing a law so that targeted advertising is illegal for people under 18. Because you and I have talked about this off air with my grant writing, right? And that sort of stuff. It's really getting quite precise. The whole, if you carry a cell phone, right, and how they can target you, not only for products you might want, but like even small things that like they know you go for a cappuccino at 3:45 every day, right? And it's illegal to do that to under 18 now. So the way she captured people, and that was all word of mouth in high schools and junior high schools. And for a book, when handheld devices like phones are around and everything, or they're coming out, and you've got the internet in 1997, it's absolutely remarkable what she did.
It was the late 90s, and being a Gen Xer, the late 90s, and so because the rise of grunge and then new metal in music, the Clinton years, it was a very weird decade, the 90s. However, I think that added to why the popularity of something pure escapism of like a 12-year-old boy with a scar on his head. And there's this evil wizard that wants to take him down because he survived. Tell me more.
Yeah.
It was completely out of the box, basically. If you remember the 90s, I wouldn't recommend it, of course. Oh, I just remember. Oh no, in about 5 to 10 years, they're going to go. How they keep going through these decade revivals. We're going to come into the 90s revival. I'm still trying to get over Stranger Things. The Stranger Things soundtrack. That's why now everything sounds like synth, because that was popular, and now you hear it everywhere.
So she sold more than 500 million copies. And she is the best-selling book series in history.
Yeah. Well, there's a live show. I think it's in Melbourne at the moment. The Cursed Child or something like that. They're doing the third movie in the what's the Beasts, the prequel. Apparently Johnny Depp's not going to be in it because just stupid shit, and he's the victim in this. He's not the perpetrator. So it's like, yeah, well done. And they just did, there was a special, was it on HBO? They did 20, because it's been 20 years of Harry Potter when the first movie came out.
Okay. So here is the list. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, 65 million copies sold.
Oh, wow.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, 65 million copies sold. Harry Potter, The Order of the Phoenix, 65 million copies. Harry Potter, the Half-Blood Prince, 85 million copies. Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows, 65 million. Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets, 77 million copies. Harry Potter's The Sorcerer's Stone, the first book, 120 million copies. and 180 million of those were sold just in the United States.
Didn't they change the title of that? Because isn't it the Philosopher's Stone?
For the movie. It was for the movie they did. They changed it.
Okay. Yeah, it's just I still can't get over aeroplane flying high. It's just annoying because all the Australians know flying high as flying high, but it's actually the rest of the planet's aeroplane. For whatever reason, some marketing twat decided to change it. I hate when they
marketing twat. Yeah.
Well, okay, let's bring up Windows. You know, this works perfectly and it's fully functioning and there's no problems. Let's redesign it completely and piss off our customer base. Okay.
Well, kind of stuff is what Disney does. So Disney took that from Microsoft.
Yeah, it's a classic marketing thing. Yeah, this is selling well. It's perfect. Well, let's change it. They're only changing it because they can. I remember buying a pizza oven by Ronson, and then 20 years later, I bought the exact same thing. That tells you two things. A, the first one lasted 2 decades, and the second, or B, yeah, but the second one is they haven't changed it for a reason because it works and it still sells. But no.
So who will be able to beat J.K. Rowling in history? And what kind of book would it have to be?
Well,
it's not going to be about baby raping lizard wizards.
No.
Well, no, it won't be fantasy. It won't be superhero because they're more comic based. However, if you look at the trends now, like let's say westerns or the disaster movies of the 70s, superhero movies are slowly on the wane. That's the right word. Because
you think
it's like really I forgot another one. So I think in the movies they'll probably start going more fantasy based because of the popularity of Game of Thrones till they fucked up the landing. So well, you can see all the TV shows now like Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings, but the problem is you got the wokeness coming in. I'm not sure what the trends and favorite themes of the literary world at the moment, though.
Well, literature, except for the occasional anomaly, and believe me when I tell you, J.K. Rowling was an anomaly.
A phenomenal anomaly.
Yeah, and for the record, she has received no respect from the literati. She's never.
Oh, correct. Yeah. They shit all over her. Yeah, they shit all over her.
Yeah, when you get into this almost secret society like world of literature, at the level of the Penn Award in the United States, the National Book Award, the Pulitzer Prize, the Governor General's Awards in Canada, whatever they have in Australia, and the Man Booker one is a huge one because it's all the Commonwealth countries, right? So Indian writers contribute to that as well. That might be the premier literary prize in the world, the Man Booker Prize. Unfortunately, Andrew, Americans can't win it. But in that world, they kind of scoff at J.K. Rowling, except the agents, and not scoff at her. But she's. I think what she did was really, really, really unique and deserves some form of recognition. Maybe it's not Nobel Prize.
500 million copies is great recognition.
Yeah, true enough.
Who cares what the literary elite think?
Yeah, yeah, fine. I'll go back to my mansion and cry. I think she was working on the third book when the first movie came out. So it was that's how popular it was. It's even like, dare I say, Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind was written only 2 or 3 years before the movie came out. That's how popular the book was. And of course, when the filmmakers, they see the popularity of an IP, it's like, well, we'll jump onto that. And so I think it was probably 3 years for Harry Potter from when the first book came out in the late 90s. And the first movie was, 2001, 2002?
Something like that. I don't remember when the first movie came out.
Yeah. Oh, well, if they just celebrated 20 years, I'm going to say about 2001, 2002.
Well, guys, I think I'll call it an end of the show right now. I've been talking for 2.5 hours straight, not a full day of sessions today. But this has been fabulous. Fabulous.
Yes.
So, Monty, you want to give away for people to get a hold of you?
I am mostly on most social media as Wafer Thin Entertainment on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. And can be heard on next week's comedy show as well. And I've got my weekly show on Revolution Radio, Planet Collingwood, who I had a certain Mr. McDonald on. And
It's a good show.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
have someone trying to break in because he needed to save Bruce's soul, but let's move on.
No, that French fellow was very good company on that round table as well.
Well, he's from here. I think he was talking to Andrew one time, and then Andrew said, well, Monty's got a show, and he's turned up. So, yeah, Raz from Mauritius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bruce, you want to give away people to get a hold of you?
Yeah. I sell books and EPUBs on Amazon.com, and there you go. And I recommend Stardust Ranch for people listening to this show right now. I just think you'll enjoy that book quite a bit. And Andrew and John, the fellow who lives at Stardust Ranch, have become good friends in the last year. It's quite a story, and it'll help you understand the Galactic historians' work a little bit. And yeah, that's where I'm at. No big social media profile. I don't like the low word count.
Also, with Stardust Ranch, there's an audiobook. So if you want to listen to me for 8 hours, now you can.
There you go. That's Abaca right there in the picture beside my author profile picture. That's a big pile of Abaca cut and been through the decorticator. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So we will be back in 2 weeks. Now, in 2 weeks, we will be doing a book review show. So for all the people that have bought the book and have been waiting to ask questions on it, 2 weeks from now will be that show. So mark that in your calendars, everybody. We will be back next week with the comedy show, and the week after that with the book review show. All right, Robert, take us away.
Each different bubble of reality is true.
A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma.
Nudge, nudge, it's the holy grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.
Hello, let's create, let's co-create, and let's change this world with love. No matter if you're from Alpha Centauri or Earth, we all began with the same birthing process. We live in a limited point of view. Living the mystical life daily is about striving for the unlimited point of view. Each day, each human being gets an infinite amount of choices. Living the mystical life daily is about facing obstacles and challenges. The level of awareness that you are working at means you have a responsibility to be equal with it. How does one truly let go of expectation? You can make the moment that you wake up to the moment you go to sleep sacred. The keys to success: choice, 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 and choice.